हेलो मेरे प्यारे बच्चों, आई वेलकम ऑल द स्टूडेंट्स फ्रॉम कन्याकुमारी टू कश्मीर. आई एम योर मोहन सर, फिजिक्स फैकल्टी फ्रॉम हैदराबाद. या गुड मॉर्निंग, गुड आफ्टरनून, गुड इवनिंग, गुड नाइट. जाने जिगर जाने मन, तुझको है मेरी कसम. तू जो मी ना मिली, मर जाऊंगा तेरी सनम. तू जो मी ना मिली, मर जाऊंगा तेरी सनम. कौन मर जाएगा रे? ये फिश इन द वाटर. फिश इन द वाटर. ये मछली पानी में डूबते रहते. सो पानी में रहे तो क्या होता? मर जाती है. तू जो ना मिली, मर जाऊंगा तेरी सनम. क्या बात है. Let us discuss about the fish in the water. Imagine a fish is located at a distance of height h from the surface of a water. Here imagine that there is a fish is located at a depth of a height, some h height inside the water. Now it wants to see the entire world. This fish wants to see the entire world. So when it wants to see the entire world, what is happening here? The ray from the water to the surface has to graze. It has to see the entire world. The ray has to graze to see the entire world. So the ray is grazing over here. Now the ray is grazing. The ray started grazing. It is grazing. Now if you draw a normal at the point of where the interface of the medium air to water and water to air, at that point if you draw a normal, so there is an angle theta here, incident angle. And here also the opposite angle theta here. The fish is located at this point. The fish is located at this point. It is observing the entire world from a circular ring. The fish is observing the entire world from the circular ring of radius r. When the ray grazes on the surface of the water, the angle of incident is becoming the critical angle. For a particular value of the angle of incident called critical angle. For a particular value of the angle of incident called critical angle, the refracted ray, the refracted angle will become 90 degrees. So this angle is becoming 90 degrees. R value is becoming 90 degrees. So the ray started grazing from the surface and it can see the entire world. The fish can see the पूरा दुनिया को देख सकते. Now as this interior angle and exterior angles are same, now this angle is considered as a critical angle. Is considered as a critical angle because for the light ray, when it is traveling from first medium to second medium, when the angle of incident is equal to the critical angle, the ray started grazing on the surface. We know about that Snell's law. So n1 sin I मतलब तो क्या है इधर? I means critical angle. Sin I is equal to, it is n2 sin R. n2 sin R. At this point where the light is coming out from the interface of the two surfaces, we are applying the Snell's law. n1 sin I is equal to n2 sin R. What is I value here? Critical angle. So n1 critical angle sin C is equal to n2 air medium. n2 is the air medium. From water medium to air medium. Refractive index of the water, refractive index of the air. Sin R. Sin R is 90 degrees. Sin R is 90 degrees. Sin 90 value is 1. So we have n1 sin C is equal to, n2 is air medium. The value of air is 1. The value, refractive index of the air value is how much? 1. So 1 into sin 90 is also 1. So here n sin C is equal to 1. Sin C is equal to 1 by n. Sin C is equal to 1 by n. This formula we are using now. So n is what? Water medium. N is the water medium. That is the first medium I am taking in the light ray where it is traveling from denser medium to rarer medium. First medium to second medium. So n is taken as the refractive index of the water. Please keep remember that n value is taken as the refractive index of the water. Now we are applying sin C is equal to 1 by n. Now take the sin theta, sin, this is also, this angle is also C value here. This angle is also C, because the interior angle and the exterior angles both are same according to the mathematics. Now sine theta is equal to that is this is the radius. This is the radius of the circle, and here we are having r square plus h square. R square plus h square. If this is h value, this is r value, according to the Pythagoras theorem, this side will become under root of r square plus h square. Already everyone know this is the basics of in mathematics. R square plus h square. So sine theta is equal to what? Opposite side by hypotenuse. Opposite side is r. Opposite side is r by hypotenuse. What is hypotenuse given here? It is given as r square plus h square. R square plus h square. R square plus h square. So what is sine theta? Theta is called critical angle. Critical angle here. We are observing the critical angle. Now sine C is equal to r by under root of r square plus h square. Sine C is 1 by n. What is the value of sine C? 1 by n. Sine C is equal to 1 by n is equal to r by under root of r square plus h square. R square plus h square. Now CM CM मतलब तो क्या है इधर? CM मतलब तो क्रॉस मल्टीप्लिकेशन. Not that chief minister, we are considering it in our physics as CM means cross multiplication. Yeah, when you go for cross multiplication, these two get multiplies here. So NR is equal to these two get multiplies. So it is under root of r square plus h square. R square plus h square. So we got it after cross multiplication CM. Okay, CM this is. Now square root on taking the square root on both sides. Taking the square root on both sides. Both sides take the square root. Yeah, this will get a square. Understand? Squaring, and this also gets squaring. So this is squaring n square r square we get it as. After squaring, taking the squaring on both sides. So squaring on both sides. SBS. क्या बोलते हैं? SBS बोलते हैं. Squaring on both sides. So when you square it on both sides, this is getting nr whole square is equal to, this is also getting square, r square plus h square whole square. R square plus h square whole square getting. So this square and this square get cancelled. One square root and square get cancelled. The final equation is n square r square. So we are getting n square r square is equal to r square plus h square. R square plus h square we are getting. Take this r to this side. Yeah, n square r square, this will come to this side as minus. This will come as minus r square is equal to h square. It is becoming h square. Now what is the common term here? Common term is r square. R square is common. Take the r square common. So this is becoming n square minus 1 is equal to h square. We got one equation. R square is equal to common, taken common term, n square minus 1 is equal to h square. Now bring this n square minus 1 to denominator. Bring this n square 1 to denominator. R square is becoming, that is h square by n square minus 1. N square minus 1. Now take the square root on both sides. Square root on both sides. Take the square root on both sides. SRBS, square root on both sides. So when you take the square root for this side, the square and square get cancelled. And taking the square on both sides equation, this is square and the square root over here this side get cancelled. Then we have r. And in numerator squaring, no, this is square get cancelled here. Numerator square is get cancelled. Square root get cancelled with this square. So what is the left equation? H is left over here. So I have h is there. This square is get cancelled. And denominator we have square is there. Square root is there. So in denominator one square root is left over. Then it is in the numerator, square root get cancelled with the square. and in the denominator n square minus 1 square root get cancelled. So this is, we have one denominator square will remains as it is, then we have n square minus 1, n square minus 1. So this is the radius for the circular ring that fish has to see with a height h, n square minus 1, where n is called as the refractive index of the water. Refractive index of the water. So this formula is used. This formula is being used to calculate the radius of the circular aperture. Radius of the circular aperture through which the fish can see the entire world. Yes, by knowing the refractive index of the water, we know the refractive index of the water is 4 by 3. Yeah, the refractive index of the water is 4 by 3. 4 by 3 square whole. So when you take that, R is equal to H by under root of 4 by 3. Yeah, when you take that square, 4 by 3. Refractive index of the water is how much? 4 by 3. So 4 square by 3 square, it is 16. 16 by 9 minus 1. 16 by 9. 16, 4 square is 16, 3 square is 9. So when you take the refractive index of the water is 4 by 3. So 4 square is 16, 3 square is 9, 16 by 9 minus 1. Then what you are going to get? 16 minus 1. 16 minus 9. 16 minus 9 is 7. 7 by under root of 7 by. So H value is under root of 16. 16 minus 9 is how much? 7. 7 by 9. 7 by 9. So the square root of 9. Square of 9 is how much? 3. It is 3. So this 3 goes to numerator. This 3 automatically goes to numerator. So thus this equation 3 goes to numerator. It is 3h by root 7. 3h by root 7 is the radius when it is in the water. When the fish is in the water, we will get that 3h by root 7. So when the h, that is the depth of the water, is given. If the depth of the water is given 12 centimeters or 9 centimeters. Yeah, if you substitute this value here, h value, you can easily get the r value. Or if the radius is given, you can calculate the height. How much depth the water, how much depth the fish is in the water. Yeah, by knowing this formula, r is equal to 3h by root 7. R is equal to 3h by root 7. We can easily calculate the other factor. So the formula is r is equal to 3h by root 7. Formula should be considered to solve the numericals. To solve the numericals, we have to consider this formula. R is equal to 3h by root 7. Why we got root 7 and 3 over there? Because water value is, refractive index of the water value is 4 by 3. Yeah, 4 square by 3 square is 16 by 9. Yeah, when you do the calculation, we are getting 16 minus 9 is 7. 7 by 9. Root 9 is how much? 3. That 3 goes to numerator. So 3h by root 7 is the final value to calculate the radius when the fish is under the water at a height h, to see the entire world. That formula should be noted. We can calculate the height or we can calculate the radius. Okay. So जाने जिगर जाने मन तुझको है तेरी कसम. Fish cannot survive without water. Water is important for the fish. ये मछली को पानी से निकाल दिए मर जाते. तू जो ना मिली मर जाऊंगा तेरी सनम. ये बात, ये कहानी यहाँ से आई. Okay students, enjoy my video. Thank you for watching. Please make a note of it.